It comes alive when it meets your reality, the actual energy and the consciousness that you're working with, what is arising for you, where you're at in your natural process, and it has to fuse with that. It has to blend with that and then start actually affecting your trajectory, your personal trajectory. Because if it doesn't do that, then it's just an idea. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Gabe again with Woven Wings, and just making you another video today. And today is about being yourself and the principle of naturalness. So that's why I take a breath. I go through my shtick when I'm talking with you guys and hey, what's up? And I think this is something we all experience just moving around in day-to-day life, interacting with other human beings. We have such internalized pressure to perform or to show up and make ourselves presentable in certain ways. And so I take that breath at the start here of this topic because I don't want that. We obviously do that, but I want to be natural. I want to communicate to you guys when you're watching this video that it's okay for you to be natural. And I'm trying to demonstrate that by not being too put together, not being too in some sort of professional script or plan. And for folks who watch my videos, there's pros and cons to that, right? Which is similar to folks who do coaching with me. You understand that this is the case. Part of these videos is almost a little window into what it's like to work with me one-on-one or in my classes. All of these principles that I teach, I do bring together different principles from a lot of different traditions, I think in unique ways, spiritual principles for life. And I think that's a particular value that I bring when I work with people. But at the same time, it's not just the existence of those principles, but it is the way in which I share them. And as I get feedback from my clients all the time, one of the benefits of how I help people is I really make it very anecdotal and I make it very personal. I try to share what's going on in my life. And generally speaking, any sort of guidance or guideline, spiritual principle or just life principle for being healthy, being successful, it comes alive when it meets your reality, the actual energy and the consciousness that you're working with, what is arising for you, where you're at in your natural process, and it has to fuse with that. It has to blend with that and then start actually affecting your trajectory, your personal trajectory. Because if it doesn't do that, then it's just an idea, or if you adopt it in a certain particular way that's not truthful to you, then you are really just imitating someone else, or you're imitating a principle. And actually, there's like a place for that in practice. When you're just really trying to learn something or bring something new on, you try to put on a new set of clothes to really understand that and gain that knowledge of what it is to be in that role. That said, there's a huge value in being natural and being yourself. And one of the reasons I like making these 8 to 10 minute videos rather than, like a 1 minute reel, although you can find those also on our short channels, is that it creates space for that. If I'm making a 1 minute reel, it's all about crafting something perfectly and making it funny and making it interesting or really making all the words pop. And that's awesome. But real life is this slower, natural flow of our consciousness and our energy, our behaviors, our habits. And that's where, the rubber meets the road. That's real life. That's where life happens. And it's not these, kind of performances that are, that we're constantly scrolling on our screen, right? And so when we think about ourselves and what is it really to be ourselves, being natural is such a key part of that. And it can feel, performance is, the danger in this approach that I'm describing is a loss of energy, right? If you allow a kind of drudgery or depression. If you contrast the intensity and energy of performance and the polished nature of that and all the energy that's required to do that with kind of just showing up and going through the motions, that's not exactly what I'm talking about. But I am talking about being naturally in touch with where you are and who you are today and living from that space. And this video is an example of that. I'm actually, today I'm making a lot of content today. Probably going to create some other content. If you watch my channel, you'll see it, in succession. But when I think about where I want to start out today, I want to start with this because it's real. It's just an expression of where I really genuinely am, and there is a feeling inside. There's a somatic feeling. I can feel it. There's some sort of experience, some sort of feeling in my chest, and throughout my whole being that kind of keeps like anchoring me into this topic and into this approach. And there's the part of me that then is kind of running ahead or getting a little anxious or excited, wants to share this thing, wants to put it together in a certain way, is fearful, is wondering if like, is this valuable? But the natural part is just like, hey, like, hang out here, be here, just be. Just take a deep breath and allow yourself to be. And this might seem like nothing really, or you might be wondering in your head if why am I watching this? What is this really providing? But what I'm trying to describe and also trying to demonstrate here, just to embody it, for the example, is a quality of being that I know very much is very magnetic and is very comforting. If you can embody this natural way of being yourself, it makes other people feel a lot safer and more comfortable around you, because it gives them implicit permission that they don't have to be in a performance. They don't have to be happy or hilarious to be around you. They can just be themselves. And if you give yourself that gift, then you're in a position then to model that and give someone else that gift. And that is a really powerful thing, because when we are natural, if you look at it from a perspective of chi, of our life force energy and our chi condition, it just takes all this pressure off. It gives all this pressure away to allow your natural energy and your body to begin to just be itself. And as it does that, all of these different systems that are moving in our body start to flow more naturally, because they don't have this implicit subconscious pressure that's driving them to do a whole range of things that aren't healthy. And so I hope that makes sense. This is why what I'm speaking to today is really actually like a health practice. It's a way of getting more into a cultivated and centered state. It's a way of having perspective. It's also what people are striving for. One of the things people are striving for when they're practicing meditation or mindfulness. So you can think about it as a meditation, or it's like a mantra you're walking around with, but it's really like a stance, an orientation to life of sitting back, being chill, relaxing, being natural, and letting yourself be yourself. And I'm going to make a subsequent video here diving into one particular element of this, which it highlights, which is trust. In order to be in this natural state, to be yourself, you have to trust that it's okay to do that. You have to trust that you're okay to be that way, and that the world is okay with you being that way. So there's an implicit movement to pacify and soothe the pervasive anxiety that often runs through human life. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. I hope you can take this as an invitation to just slow it down, be natural, be real, be who you are, and know that that is beautiful. It's enough. It's more than enough. And when you start to do that, it's a gift to your own being, to your health, and it's also a gift to the people in your life, because it starts to show other people also what's possible. So I hope this is helpful. As always, leave a comment if anything in this speaks to you, and or if you have a question or you just want to share, and I will catch you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.